Hello and welcome back to the Sweet and Spicy Podcast. My name is Kate.
And I'm Cecily.
And today we are discussing a book from a TikToker, actually. It is For Whom the Bell Tolls by Jacia Lynn.
Woo! You might know her as See You Later.
Okay, so
Oh.
this book is obviously from a TikToker, like I said. Her name is Jacia Lynn. I believe that is what her name is, right?
I honestly don't remember her actual name. I just know her as at See You Later.
I believe that is, yeah, JC Lynn or Jacia Lynn. But anyway, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your name. I follow her on Instagram because I don't really go on TikTok, but when I used to, I did follow her on TikTok too. This is how I found her. It's how I found the book. She does a whole series on these characters, actually. It's how I believe it started. And I got to read her book while I listened to it because I am an audiobook girly. I consume real fast when I do that because I got other stuff I got to do. But it is easily one of a good top in my book list of favorites. I really enjoyed this book. I thought it flowed really well. I thought the pacing was really nice for it. I thought the little interruptions that you get from one of the characters is really cute, and honestly, her inner monologue between her and the main male lead, it's just a very good, back and forth. And being able to know those characters from the TikToks and the Instagram videos and such, and then getting to transfer over to the actual book and getting more and getting to understand more of the inner dialogue and the meeting and stuff was really nice.
I'm very excited because I love watching the little series.
It's so
And I didn't
good.
realize the book was done.
Yes. It's been out for a little bit now, I think. So, by a little bit, I mean at least a month or two, I think it's been out.
I'm not that behind then.
No, not that bad. I pre-ordered, I believe I pre-ordered the audiobook, or I got it the day it came out, something like that. I was really excited for the audiobook. So, without further ado, we're going to get into it. And I'm going to reference my phone here for her trigger warnings.
Triggered.
So, For Whom the Bell Tolls is a humor fantasy romance, obviously, set in the afterlife and deals with death. It also deals with lighter moments, which is really nice. It does have a lot of lighter moments to ease out of the bad. But again, it is about death and souls coming to death, and the majority of this book takes place in hell. So you deal with really bad people and demons, and it's awesome. But there are elements, including blood and gore, violence, battle, serious injury, religious trauma, terminal illness. Those are all shown on page, as well as multiple explicit sex scenes. So, obviously.
Woohoo!
There are also references and discussions of torture, child abuse, sexual assault, self-harm, and suicide.
Yeesh.
So those of you who would be sensitive to that, please take note of this. This is your time to skedaddle, as people say.
As the people say.
As the people say.
Go
I am a
on,
people. It's me. I am the people.
Got it.
So, we're going to get into it now.
I'm all ears.
It starts out with the main character, Lily. Lily is a badass. First and foremost, Lily is a badass, okay? She's unapologetic. She's worked in retail her entire life, which helps her later on with what she does, and we'll get into that in a second. But Lily also finds out that she has terminal cancer. It is pretty much spread throughout her entire body, and it was delayed at first because her insurance wouldn't cover the cost of the test because they deemed it unnecessary.
Insurance is a scam.
It is. So the book kind of starts with her finding out this news and going to her parents' house, and it kind of just talks about that kind of situation of she got into her car to go to her parents' house to kind of give them the bad news, and her brothers were there as well. And what you find out is that her car breaks. And she said, this was the moment I realized I was really going to die. Her car died, right, like in the hospital parking lot after getting told this news. So eventually she does get there. She tells them, you learn a little bit later on in the book, but it's kind of like alluded to that they do take care of her. They try to find her options and everything, and she's like, it's done. Like, this isn't gonna happen. So she does die, obviously. Mm-hmm. She's all afterlife. It's a book about the afterlife. She's got to die to get there. So she does die.
Still sad.
It is still sad. She goes through judgment. One thing that I thought was really funny was that Lily has tattoos, like, all down her arm, and she talks about how incredible, like, her tattoos and how much thought and process and everything went into her tattoos. She has them, like, all over her body, but specifically she's got, like, a nice, big, like, cohesive sleeve, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she gets to the afterlife. She's talking to the person, like, it's kind of like you sit in front of somebody's desk, they explain to you that you're dead, and, you know, kind of normal stuff. And so she sits there, she's talking to her, and then she looks over and she realizes that all of her tattoos are gone. All of her tattoos are gone. And she freaks out. And the lady's like, no, don't worry. After judgment, you get to decide if you want your tattoos back or not. And you can always change them if you want. You can keep them. You can add them. Like, it is fully up to you.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, I would be kind of like...
I would be scared if all my tattoos disappeared. Like, I would be terrified if all my tattoos disappeared.
It would be sad. Like,
it would
hey, I paid good money for those.
Yep. So, Lily doesn't really believe in, like, a specific religion. So, because she personally has a lot of religious trauma from her family, because her mom's super religious. Her dad was not.
That's a fun
so
mix.
They fought a lot, too, and they talk about how they fought a lot. But besides all of that, they did, you know, her mom was very like, you have to do this, you have to do that. And one of the biggest things that happened to Lily was that this is one of those trigger warnings, guys, and I'm so sorry, but, like, really, those trigger warnings are there for a reason. Please, if any of that is going to bother you, it's okay to skip an episode. Because we do have to talk about it. But she got raped when she was younger. And when she opened up about this, everybody at the church started saying that it was her fault and that she shouldn't have been tempting and she shouldn't have, you know, dressed certain ways. She shouldn't have. Yeah, it was her fault.
That's bullshit.
She came to deal with the fact that no, it's not her fault, but she did lose all of her friends. She had friends that wouldn't even let her, that didn't want to hang out with her anymore because she was unpure. She was not, like, it was entirely not her fault, but it happened. So she's kind of dealing with that and the issues that come along with that, as well as the fact that she doesn't feel like she really belongs in paradise. That's what they call it when you don't really go to a specific religion. They call it paradise, and you get your own private paradise. And so, you know, she's got her own little door. It's a hobbit door. She loves Lord of the Rings, so she gets a little hobbit door.
I love it because I'm, like, recognizing all these bits and pieces from the TikToks.
I know, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful paradise, and they have little shops and things that when they leave their doors, they can get to, and it's a beautiful, genuinely, she does such a great job at explaining how everything works and its intricacies, and I don't want to spoil too much of them, so I'm not going to tell, like, too much along that line, but just take my word for it. It's beautiful. It's beautifully written. It's beautifully described. it is what you wish an afterlife would be. Because hell, she kind of goes off of Dante's Inferno a little bit, where it's like the levels, the 9 levels of hell.
Mm-hmm.
But in her book, up, like, I think it's like 6 and above is you can go through like intense therapy and like trying to figure out where you went wrong, and you climb the levels as you get better and a better person to eventually one day be able to reincarnate. So anybody in paradise can reincarnate whenever they want. But they do recommend you stick around paradise for a little bit, you know, try to feel it out. Lily got to see all of her past lives when she was sitting for
who wants to come back to this place?
She saw all of her past lives. She's not like a super old soul, but all of her past lives, obviously the one that she had just been in, she died young. She was never married. She didn't have kids. All of her lives, she never got to have kids. In all of her lives, she never got to have kids. At least the past lives she didn't get to, and it was really sad for her, and it was a really, like, heartbreaking moment of, like, that is something that her soul has wanted for so long, and it was never able to get to it. And her lives were not great. Like, I don't think she ever talked about one that was good. She was sold off to somebody in one of her past lives, and she was, like, died really young in another one of, like, and she died of another, like, in another one really young, probably about 7, she assumed, of, like, she died of the cold, like, she got too cold and died, like, hypothermia. So it was, like, all around not great. So she wanted to stick around paradise for a little while. She also felt, like, big imposter syndrome of being in paradise. She didn't think she belonged in paradise. She didn't think what she did was, like, something... She didn't think she did anything necessarily bad, but she didn't feel like she deserved paradise. Like, nothing like to her was a... Yeah, she felt like she had to earn it or had to do something. So, this leads her down, and she goes down to hell because she wants to visit hell. She wants to see what it is, because she actually befriends a demon that's up at the gate. So she befriends one of the demons at the gate because she was actually nice to them and, like, didn't just, like, get freaked out by them and, like, run away or, like, stick up her nose at them. She was nice to them because, hey, you're a demon, so what? Like, I didn't do nothing. Like, you're probably nice people. This is a job for you. She's worked in retail for ages. Like, she's like, I'm not gonna hurt retail workers. Like, I'm not gonna hurt, like, people just because they're doing their job. So she does this whole thing, and she, you know, gets acquainted with people, has coffee with other people, you know, gets to, you know, interact with people. And she prefers hell. She actually prefers the company of people in hell. Hilarious. Not that the company in any of the other areas is bad, it's just she thinks demons are cool. She also is a romance book girly, by the way. And this whole book is very sex positive.
That's why.
So, she also has a massive library in her paradise that is just, like, all of her favorite romance books, and then also new ones, including monster romance. There's lots of monster romance and demon romance, which is really funny in this book, so I highly recommend that part. But, so she goes through hell, and she ends up asking if they want any help, you know, dealing with some souls. They can see that she's backed up, and there's a lot of, like, combative souls that she's found that are like, you shouldn't, you know, there's gotta be someone I can talk to, like, this isn't where I'm supposed to be, like, I'm not supposed to be down here. So she opens up the help desk, spelled H-E-L-L-P. Help desk.
Which is, if you watch the TikToks, then you really should pick up on all of this. If you haven't clued in. This is the help desk.
It's the help desk. So it talks about how she's by herself and she's sitting there, and these people are coming up and, you know, talking, and she's, like, telling these people they suck, and basically she gets a soul file. She touches the soul file, which is, like, a thing that isn't technically supposed to happen to just normal souls. But because the universe has kind of been like, I like this one, she gets the soul files. She's able to read them and look at them. And they comment on this, too, like, directly to her. Oh, that's cool. You're important. You're fun. So she's just got, like, a little,
Look at you little human.
Yeah, she's basically just got, like, a fake little, like, fold-out table or something. I'm not even sure if she's got a table yet. But she's got a sign. Somebody made her a sign. And she's got, like, this big, like, old gaming desk chair. That's, like, that was one of the demons. So it's massive, but it's comfortable. So she's got, she's at this point. Well, people start coming up to her cool. Like, she's like, oh, you suck. This and that. She realized she could say whatever she wants. She's living for it. She's super sarcastic. She's super funny. Well, one day, a little child in a shark onesie shows up.
Oh, Sharky.
Yup, Sharky. And she looks, and this little blonde child with a shark fin and a shark onesie comes up and is like, I think I'm lost, but my foster mom said that this is where I'm supposed to be. So this is where I came because I was told this is where I was going to end up, and this is where I'm supposed to be. You learn more about Sharky's backstory, and I'm not gonna talk about it here because
I know
really
if you've watched the TikToks, you've already know some of it, and I'm like already like teared up because I love little Sharky.
Sharky is about 6 or 7, I think, right now. When she first comes to hell. So do you know how Sharky died? Do we want to get into how Sharky died?
No.
You kind of know if you've watched the series, but it does happen to coincide with she wanted to go see an aquarium. She wasn't allowed to leave, and it was her birthday. She wanted to go to the aquarium for her birthday.
It's so sad.
So she tried to go to the aquarium. So she takes, because she doesn't have a soul file, Lucifer actually was there. So she takes her to the, or not there yet, but she takes her to, the lady that did her intake. The woman says, oh, you're in paradise, sweetie. You're not in hell. And she goes, no, I think that's a mistake. I think I belong in hell. And she goes, and so Lily, being like the bright little mind she is, says, oh, well, I know Lucifer. Would you like to talk to him? You mean the devil? He prefers Lucifer, but yes. Would you like to talk to him? Maybe he could talk to you a little bit. And he can decide if there's a mistake. And she says, okay. So they go. And they go talk to Lucifer. And Lucifer talks to her a little bit. Oh my god, I completely forgot one really important part. I'm sorry. We're going to backtrack a little bit before Sharky. So Lily got a baseball bat to hit the souls with when they're shitty. So actually Lucifer sends Belle, which you know if you've seen the TikToks, down, who is our main male lead, if you haven't caught on, sends him down on an errand. He is a general of Hell's forces, a prince in his own right. Sends him down to go get his sword because he left it in the closet. This is not something that Lucifer usually does. Lucifer loves Lily, by the way. Lily and Lucifer, they tight. They friends.
Besties.
They are
besties with the devil.
Lucifer legitimately set up an entire, legitimate help desk for Lily. It's beautiful. She's got printers. She's got good desk. She's got, everything she needs. So he sends him down. Lily, Belle went and got the sword out of the closet, whatever, starts walking out, sees Lily beating this piece of crap into the floor with her baseball bat. Teeth are flying everywhere. I think one of the things was, I know one of the lines that Lily does say, and I don't know if it pertains to this specific person, but it does pertain to one of the souls, which was, I feel like he needs to have his teeth privileges revoked. And that is one of my favorite things.
Dang.
So Belle legitimately, it's time slows to a stop. Beleth just sees Lily beating the ever-loving snot out of this man. This slimy, greasy man. And he legitimately looks at her. She looks up, catches his eye. He smiles at her. She smiles back, and he hands her the sword that Lucifer wanted him to go get. And she just looks at him, smiles, and then uses the sword. And he walks up. He walks back up, right? I want to also preface, Lily has been playing essentially the Demon World's version of Among Us. Called Invaders. Called Invaders.
Yes.
With people online, right? So she's gamer, whatever. In the afterlife, she's been playing with them. And they have a bunch of friends. She met them through the female demon that she was friends with in the very beginning. Her and a couple of the other ones that were there. The gate demons and stuff. So they had been playing, and she had created this fake little relationship with a guy on there, and his tag was Fruit Bat.
Fruit Bat.
Fruit Bat. Hers was a Lord of the Rings reference, but his was Fruit Bat. Right? So he was like, Nerd Wife, we gotta do this. So he calls her Nerd Wife, and she calls him Fruit, like she just calls him Fruit Bat or Nerd Husband or whatever. And she says something, and he looks at her and goes, and says like her tagline, like right after she hands him the sword, because he kind of stuck around a little bit after the soul had disappeared. And then he said, he called her by her tag, her name, her gamer tag, and I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's Niramir. I think it's Niramir.
I don't know enough Lord of the Rings lore to give you any idea. Like, I've watched it, but it's not quite my lore.
I know, it's okay. They did bond over the fact that it was a Lord of the Rings reference, too, by the way. So, like, over voice chat and stuff, VC. And so they're talking,
and she says wait. So he says hers, and she's like, Fruit Bat?
Yeah, she's like, No, she doesn't say Fruit Bat. She says, Nerd Husband, and like runs and hugs him, like jump and hugs him, and he's like, oh my god, because Belleth fell in love with her based off of her voice. He was already gone for Lily. Lily liked him so much because of how deep and like gruffy his voice was.
Who wouldn't?
I know, and I listened to the audiobook. I said that previously. Sean Masters did such a good job as Belle.
I might have to listen to this one.
You really do. So they have their little moment, and like, oh yay, like I'm so glad I finally got to meet you. And I believe he actually asks her to hang out and like watch a movie or something. Yay. Or he hadn't done it yet, or it's like very, very like close to asking her on a date, basically. So he runs back upstairs to his thing. He's got a little bit of a pep in his step, happy. And Lucifer is like, so how'd it go? And he goes, she's wonderful. Because Lucifer did this whole thing on purpose, and Belle figured that out. And he said, she's perfect. And he goes, I knew you guys would get along. Now where's my sword? And he goes, I gave it to Lily. And he goes, you did? Yeah. Okay. He's like, you know what? I get it. So fast forward again back to Sharky. So she brings Sharky up. Lily brings Sharky up to meet Lucifer. Lucifer looks at Sharky and is like, do you mind if we talk privately for a little bit? And we can, you can still see Lily. Like, we'll just sit in that alcove over there. You can still see Lily. Everything will be fine. Like, you can still see her. She can still see you. Like, you won't leave. Because Sharky's super attached to Lily at this point. Like, she's bonded to Lily already.
Mm-hmm.
So Lucifer goes to sit and talk to her by herself. And they're just sitting there, and she's in her little shark onesie. And so then she's talking to Belle, because Belle's there, because they just got out of a meeting and stuff. And Lucy stopped the meeting just to meet her.
Aww.
Just to meet Sharky. And so Lily's talking to Belle, and they're kind of getting a little bit of a hot and heavy, because they've kind of been dating and seeing each other already. And so, like, I don't think they've kissed quite yet, but they were about to. And then Lucifer and stuff comes up, and he goes, well, Sharky is this and that, and, you know, and then they talk, and Sharky comes to live with Lily.
No.
In her paradise. Sharky gets her own room in the paradise. And it is an aquarium. It's a beautiful little aquarium room for her. Or it's a shark-themed room or aquarium-themed room or something. It's pretty.
She gets, like, an aquarium. I think her actual paradise in the TikTok, like, she had her own aquarium. She just, you know.
You do learn that later on, that she does get her, when she grows up a little bit bigger, she does get offered her own paradise, and she does get to live in her own paradise. So, Sharky is beautiful. I love her. She's so sweet. Lily takes care of her the entire time. You know, that's her kid. That's Lily's kid. Sharky does eventually start to call Lily Mom. And she does it, like, one day and just, like, out of the blue, and it's like, can we have cinnamon toast, Mom? And it, like, takes a second for her to register, but, like, turns around and is like, and then Sharky, like, gets a little bit, like, more, like, inverted. Is that okay? And she goes, yeah, Sharky, that's fine. Like, you can call me that. And she goes, okay, good, because I want to kind of call Belle Dad, and I want to call Lucifer Papa, but, like, I didn't want them to feel left out because I really love them both. And it's just like, oh my God, Sharky. It's very sweet. And Sharky goes to school in hell. She goes to a hell school because yeah. So the way that children that die young, you know, child souls grow, is that they learn their maturity level. The faster they go in the maturity level, the faster they age. So it goes at their pace. So Sharky, you know, actually starts. Sharky actually grows really fast. So the hell school was actually better for her to be in because it meant that she could keep up with the demons and they would just move her classes up. And she loved, obviously, science and everything, and she got to be friends with one of them, with a couple of the kids at school, and, like, Lily and Belle both pick her up, and Lucy comes and picks her up sometimes. Lucifer comes and picks her up sometimes, and is like, it's a beautiful thing. So one of the other things that I thought was really funny about this book, though, is there's a coffee shop called Common Grounds. I think you can see the little pause. I'm sorry. You just saw Freya pause, like, stretch. But anyway, so there's a coffee spot called Common Grounds, and it, like, is in between all of the all of the portals and, you know, arches and things. So she gets coffee, and she runs into somebody while she's there. She's talking to this person, and she makes a dirty joke, and then she realizes she just made a dirty joke to Persephone. The Persephone. And so she's mortified afterwards. Persephone thought it was hilarious, but she was mortified. She goes and tells Belle. Belle is like, oh, you just made a friend for life. Like, Persephone loves dirty jokes. So they're great. They're fun. She gets invited to trivia nights. They do trivia. And then one night, this is now where they still haven't had sex yet.
Dang.
There is a lot of tension. Oh, no. It's not for lack of trying.
Well, that's bad when the universe is out to get you.
It's for lack of time alone, where they don't have interruptions. So the girls do this thing where they all meet and, you know, get together, and they do a sexy night, essentially, where they all dress up as slutty and sexy and, like, drool-worthy as possible with Aphrodite's help. Aphrodite's help.
Yes.
So you know these girls are, like, spicy hot, right? So they're going to do trivia that night. And it's, like, their game. They only want to just beat the guys in trivia, which is, like, distraction upon distraction to try to get them, whatever. And they make a joke. Somebody makes a joke that to Persephone about Hades is really gonna get fucked tonight, and she goes, he better. It's my turn.
love all the jokes and lore about Persephone pegs Hades.
It's my favorite. Because here's the thing, you know she does. You know that she does. Because, like, the emo little, like, person that a lot of people assume is Hades, that's Thanatos. Thanatos?
I call him Thanatos.
Okay. Yeah. We're gonna go with Thanatos. I'm so sorry if I said that wrong. But that's who that is. He is the god of death. Mm-hmm. Hades is the god of the underworld. He does the paperwork. He wears 3-piece suits, like, on his days off. Like, he is Baker Gear all the time.
Vera's Under the Moon God series has a story for Hades, Lucifer, Thanatos, Poseidon.
That's great.
And then Zeus is coming.
Okay. That's cute. That's fun. It's fun and fresh.
Thanatos is very nice.
Yes, it is very funny to see that, though, when people are like, oh, he's so moody and he's so that. No. Man is a cinnamon roll who loves his punk plant wife. Like, that's what this is. So anyway, they go and they do this thing, and Belle can't not look at her. And the only one that doesn't have, like, a match on the other table is Gregorith.
Not yet, Greg.
No, not yet. So Greg makes a deal. Him and Lucifer. Lucifer obviously doesn't either. They make a timing thing where they were only allowed to look at their respective partners for like a minute. They get a minute or two to look at their respective partners, and then you got to turn around and give someone else their turn. Because otherwise you got to be locked in because they don't want to lose again. It fails. Belle looks over at Lily, and Lily happens to just catch his eye, and he's like looking at her and she's looking at him. She gets up to go to the bathroom, like makes direct eye contact with him, gets up to go to the bathroom. He follows her. Straight up follows her. They do some stuff in the bathroom. Not full sex, but they do some stuff. He does some stuff to her in the bathroom.
Oh my.
And when she tries to reciprocate, he says, no, you are not dirtying yourself by getting on your knees in a bathroom floor.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So then they go back to the table. She is, you can tell. So is he. He's just like all like happy and dreamy or whatever. So then Persephone, gone. Hades has already picked her up and left. Asmodeus and Soraya, because you do get them too. Soraya is pregnant with their first kid in this book too, by the way. Is pregnant with Asmodeus and her first child. And so he's like itching to get his wife and go. And she is ignoring him. She won't look at him. She will not look at him. And she's like in the most like nice, like flowy kind of like pretty dress possible. She's not like all slutted up, like, you know what I mean? Like women empowerment kind of like sexy, you know? No, she is full on, like, just in a normal outfit, but that shows her stomach. Because she's like, they're all looking at her like, that's gonna work. And she goes, trust me, I know my man. He's got a breeding kink, and you can tell that I'm pregnant. Man's is gonna be crawling to me. He is, too. He very much is. So they get to this point. They don't win. None of them win anything, like places or anything. But the girls beat them still by a couple points. And as soon as all that matters. As soon as it's over, Asmodeus, literally, you can barely even see him, and he's got her picked up and running out the door.
Time to go, wife.
Yep, time to go, wife. See ya. And then Belith comes over and talks to Lily a little bit, and this is like one of those moments of like, you want to go? Yeah, let's go. Because the entire thing is just turning into a orgy. The entire bar is turning into, this trivia bar is turning into an orgy.
Woo-woo.
And he's like, I'm not big on the orgies.
We've gone from orc orgies to demon orgies.
Oh, and Angel's in this too, by the way. I don't know if you remember Angel. Maybe you haven't. You have?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So Angel the Succubus is also in this.
Angel the Succubus.
Yes. I mean, that is what it is. So they end up back at one of their houses. I think it's Belle's house. I believe
the
they
house
end up
without
back at
Sharky.
Belle's house. Oh no, Sharky's having a sleepover with her friends, her demon friends. No, Sharky's, they always take care of Sharky.
No.
Sharky is never by herself if they can help it.
Adorable.
So they go at one of their houses. Oh, no. They end up in his office. That's what it was.
Ooh.
They end up in his office or his room or something. And they're about to get dirty. And his phone starts buzzing. And she legitimately looks at him and she goes, please tell me that demon cocks vibrate. And he said, I wish. His answer was, I wish.
Don't we all?
Hello? God damn it. He had to leave. So she went home. She picked up Sharky in the morning. They did their thing. And this just keeps happening where they keep getting interrupted. A couple times a lot of the times it's his phone. Sometimes it's Sharky.
Rude.
And so I'm trying to talk about it without spoiling things. So, like, a lot of this is just going to be, like, little cute scenes that I'm talking about. But, yeah, so Sharky is, like, a really cute little aspect of it. Sharky walks in on them more than once.
Oh, no.
They do eventually finally, get to bone after he gets sent off to fix a tear. There's a universe tear that they're trying to deal with, and he's part of the army. It's his turn. He's gone for 2 weeks, and when he gets back, she finds out he's back, and he's showered and everything, and she immediately runs to his office, and he was about to come see her.
No.
And so she knocked on the door, and he was like, come in. She comes in, and he sees her, and they just pretty much start, kissing, making out, whatever. And she's like, now. Now. And let me read you the excerpt from that, because that one I did actually bookmark.
Dang.
You ready for this? This is also, she tells him that she loves him, and he says it back right before this, by the way. They haven't fucked yet, and they do say I love you, because they do, And she says, I love you, you love me, you can fuck me properly on the desk, the couch, or the fucking floor, but you're going to do it now. You can take me to a bed properly later, okay?
Sometimes that's just how it be.
Girl was edged way too long. With just, the promises of, having this thing, and she can't get to it.
Oh, I'm sorry. She's done Don't tease me for months with demon peen and not deliver.
Exactly. So he was just as, I'm going to rip your clothes in half. So.
Rip you in half.
But it does talk about how he has, slight ridges on the bottom. Very, very slight. They're there. He also, I don't know if you can kind of tell if you've watched the TikToks or the Instagram videos, but Belle has wings.
Mm-hmm.
So does Asmodeus. Not all demons have wings, but they do have tails.
Mm-hmm.
They have tails.
What kind of
prehensile tails?
Oh, yes.
And they're blunted at the end. They don't have, like, the little, like, triangle at the end. They're, like, blunted. And so she talks to him about it, and he grabs some of her romance books from before, like 8 or so. Sharky helped him pick out the romance books to read.
I love Sharky.
He said, Sharky helped me too. She told me which ones you've read, which ones she's seen you read.
The most.
And no, he went off of how badly, like, the spines were broken.
Valid.
Because she had paperbacks. So he took those, he had read them, and, like, one of the scenes prior was, is this about the tail scene? And he goes, there's a tail scene? She said, oh, you haven't gotten to that one yet. And he said, there's a tail scene? And she goes, a lot of my books have tail scenes. And he goes, I need the books now. So she does also meet his mom, who is Lilith, like the Lilith, and she gets to meet his family, and his youngest sister, who is, like, known to just, like, throw tantrums, loves Lily too. That was, like, her entryway. Like, that's like, no, you're sticking here, like, you're ours.
You cannot
be your family. Yeah, no, that's your family now. So they do have a fun little, like, back and forth of that. And the tail is used. Don't you worry. The tail is used. And then there's some things that happen that I can't really talk about. And then we get the happy ever after. And Sharky's grown up. And she's interning at the help desk. And because when demon children are around 16 years old, they get to be a part of, like, an internship, essentially. And Sharky's at that age, and so she gets to intern at the help desk. She literally, the minute she got to go up there, she did. And it was like, girl, this is my spot. I am so comfy here. Like, this is my time. This is my place. So at that point is when she got offered her own paradise as well. And she did take it, and she got to go have her aquarium. But she still has her room at the house. Mm-hmm. Oh, the house is, like, semi-sentient. By the way, Sharky calls it Carlton. First with Carl, and then Lily was like, can we not call it Carl? I don't want to live in a Carl. Can we call it something else? Sharky's like, what else do you want to call it? How about Carlton? And she goes, do you like that? And the house rumbles and is like, yes. And also Lily has her pet cat from, like, childhood. And it's very cute. And Sharky's room specifically, though, the house has a barrier on it so that nobody can go in the room without Sharky's permission. No. And it's not like you can enter, she gives permission once and then you can always enter. She has to give you permission every time. The only one I think that she allows to have, like, permanent access is the cat. So, like, but there is a big barrier, and, like, she has Lily test it, and then the first time she meets Belle, she actually drags Belle over there, and Belle tests it for her, too. And it's very cute, and it's very fun, and, it's just a really good read. I highly recommend it. It's, with all the bad and the torment and stuff in it, it's a feel-good read. But, at the very end, in the epilogue, they're happy. They've been together for a couple years now. They're not married yet, but they're, like, you know, they've been together, but they're both, like, it does mention that they both, like, stare at each other's empty ring fingers and is, like, longingly, like, and in every other aspect, they are each other's. They're married, but they're just not married with, like, rings yet. Mm-hmm. And Lily does a specific thing that I'm not going to talk about, but she's basically forever with Belle now. She no longer has the ability to reincarnate. It is also a loophole for her to be able to then have children with Belle. No. So she can have kids with Belle now, and it's very cute. And when they told Sharky was super excited. She was like, oh my god, I can have siblings! And so at the very end, though, Lily's looking for people to help at the help desk. Besides just her and Sharky. More people to work at the help desk. And people are coming in and out and, you know, dealing with things. And Greg is on a rampage of, like, grumpy, right?
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who don't know, Greg works on level 9. So he sees the worst of the worst, okay? He's grumpy in his own regard. And only people who know him very well and are friends with him can call him Greg. Lily gets to call him Greg. Sharky gets to call him Greg. Like, it's very cute. But a girl, and it describes it, a girl in a red hoodie walks up to the help desk and says, "Hi, I don't think I belong in paradise. Is there a way that, like, I think there was a mistake. Like, I don't feel like I belong there." And Lily really, like, feels that, because that's kind of how she felt. And she said, "Well, you do belong in paradise, but how about this? How would you like to work here?" And she says, "I would get to," you know, Lily tells her the whole thing, and she goes, "Oh, okay. Like, that sounds like a good time." And so she joins, and she says, "I'm Lily, by the way." And she goes, "Penny. I'm Penny." And that's how it ends. And it's like, oh my god, I can't wait for Penny's book. If there's going to be a Penny book, I highly doubt she's not going to write one. But I think she will. And I think she's going to write a book for a couple of them, my guess. But it's very cute. It's very sweet. I love it. There's plenty of spice. Like, don't get it down by, like, it takes a while for them to have, like, full-on sex. Like, they still do some stuff.
Nice.
And they're constantly, like, touchy-feely, like, all that good stuff. And Belle actually takes her on a flying. Belle takes her flying, and it's very cute. And also, wings. They're very sensitive.
Oh, those kind of wings.
Those kind of wings. He tells her, like, the proper wing etiquette. Because one time in the very beginning, she hugs him. She accidentally touches the most sensitive part, like, where his wings meet his back. And he legitimately, like, shivers and, like, has a gruff, kind of thing. And it's like, ooh.
Don't be doing that to strangers.
But he also explained, like, where it's not, like, sensitive and then where it is sensitive. And it's really, it's like, she thought of a lot.
Demon anatomy.
Oh, and he does this thing with his tail, because technically 2 demons, like, they both have tails, because, like, all demons have tails. And so they interlock them. They're called a tail twist.
That's like Married to the Alien Cowboy, where in the wedding they would have locked tails, but she didn't have tails, so they did, like, their feet.
So instead of, like, it's like a comfort thing, like, there's certain different tail wraps. One of them is, like, very, like, friendly, like, family and friends, you know, where it, like, tail wraps around you, whatever. But there's another one that's specifically for, like, couples and intimate partners, and because he can't wrap it around, like, her tail, he wraps it around, like, her leg and her thigh, and, like, wraps her, and he explains it to her, and he's like, "Sorry, I thought maybe it would be okay, like, is it okay?" And she's like, "I love it, like, it's fine, like, it's wonderful." Like, when she learned, like, the actual reason behind it, and he does it all the time. Aww. And it's super cute, and it's, like, his way of being like, "I'm here, like, you're mine, like, I'm not leaving." Like, it's very cute.
I love it.
I highly recommend reading it, guys. Like, and I left out a lot, because there's so much, like, good depth in there.
And I'm sure it's awesome if you watch the series.
Oh, it is definitely awesome when you watch the series, especially when Sharky first comes up, because it's, like, the only thing that Lily sees is the fin over her desk.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, this little blonde hair, like, showing out the top, and just, like, a fin. And it's cute. And she said that's how she finds her in crowds, too, is it's just a fin. There is a scene, and I won't tell you what scene, I won't tell you what purpose, but that there is a scene where Sharky actually doesn't wear the shark outfit. The shark onesie. And they pretty much call her Sharky the entire time. There is no, like, full name in this.
That's her name. Her name is Sharky.
Yep. It's not that she doesn't like her name. She does tell she does tell Lily her name is Zoe. Like, that is a thing that they do. But it is very much, do you prefer Sharky? I like Sharky. We'll call you Sharky then. So
if I remember, she was very, like, asexual, kind of androgynous.
Oh, yeah, TikTok, she is. So. She's very, like, I wouldn't say androgynous in the book, because she's a child, obviously.
Yeah,
that but still hasn't, like, but she does ask Lily to braid her hair, like, she braids Belle's, because she braids Belle's for him, because it's, like, a cute thing, and Lily braids, Sharky's hair, too, and it's very cute. And she gave Sharky battle braids. But yeah, I think she's still very much asexual, and that comes from a lot of what she went through as a child.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, and she does a really good job in explaining that Sharky thinks it's a weird cuddle. Like, that somebody would come in and cuddle her. And it was like, oh, you poor baby.
No.
Yeah. But it has a good ending. It has a very happy ending. They're all happy together. Sharky's great. Sharky does wonderful. Still calls them mom and dad. And still calls Lucifer Papa. Like, it's a very cute little situation.
And then hopefully in the next book, Greg and Penny will be happy.
Hopefully, because Greg's like a real hard ass in this book. Which is his default, to be fair.
Yes.
But yes, it's very cute. I really adore it. I highly recommend reading it.
Yay!
And I think we should all give Kate, like, a good props, because Kate did not have notes, and I didn't tangent too much.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm looking at the recording timer, and I'm like, dang, okay.
I did it.
So proud of you right now. Especially because I want to go eat.
Yeah, I do too. I'm starving. Okay. Happy reading, you guys. And don't forget to follow us on YouTube, on Spotify, wherever
Instagram,
you listen.
TikTok.
Yep.
We're everywhere.
Sweet and Spicy Pod is typically what we're under. So, we hope you enjoy your week. I hope you keep listening. And happy reading. Bye.